이렇게 보고. 톡톡님 이제 안대를 풀어주세요. 제가 벗겨드리겠습니다. 짠, 짜잔. 톡톡님의 자리입니다.
The chair is too low.
그렇네요. 이럴 수가. 이럴 수가 없네요. 제가 위로 올려드리겠습니다. 짜잔, 어떠세요?
Wow, is this my office now?
사무실은 아니고 이제 책상 하나 정도? 책상 하나.
So what is my role?
여기 이 명패를 보세요.
Don't you think you're giving me too much work?
근데 저 또 하나 생각난 거 있어요. 잠깐만요.
Excuse me.
여기에 추가로 붙여드릴게요. 톡톡님은 만능이니까 이 정도는 거뜬히 해내실 수 있을 거예요.
Alright.
그러면 첫 번째 임무를 드릴게요. 여기 있는 자료들을 절 찾아주시면 돼요.
Okay.
안녕하세요. 이번 주 우리 프로그램에 출연하실 대사님의 나라와 한국 사이에 굉장히 의미 있는 공간이 서울에 있다고 해서 거기를 찾아가 볼 예정입니다. 가시죠.
Where do you think we are going to visit today? Take a guess.
도착했습니다. 제가 오늘 찾아온 장소는 바로 이곳입니다.
One of Tok Tok's missions was to find a meaningful place for Korea and Türkiye's relationship.
What do you think about Ankara Park? This park opened to the public in May 1977 to commemorate the sisterhood relations established between Seoul and Ankara.
터키 전통 포도원 주택이라고 써져 있네요. 공원이 되게 좋아요. 여러분도 한번 와보시는 걸 추천합니다. 잠깐 앉아보도록 하겠습니다. 책을 한 권 가져왔어요. 처음 읽는 터키사라는 책입니다. 한국이랑 터키 역사가 되게 오래됐어요. 보면 우리나라의 삼국시대 때 터키의 조상인 티르크족은 몽골 초원을 중심으로 티르크 제국을 세워 발전하고 있었고, 당시에 고구려가 티르크 제국과 연합하기도 하고 서로 공격하기도 했고.
Official records of contact between the Turkic and Korean people are first found in the history of Goguryeo during the Three Kingdoms period. In 572 AD, there are records that Goguryeo sent an envoy when the king of the first Turkic Khaganate died.
티르키의 국기가 빨간색이라서 빨간색 옷을 입어봤어요. 멋있어요. 이거 옷은 빨고요? 누구? 티르키예 대사관으로 갑니다.
터키 아니었어요?
터키가 티르키예로 바꿨잖아요, 이름을. 티르키예 정부는 영어 터키가 칠면조를 가리키는 데다 겁쟁이 등의 의미로 사용된다는 점에서 국호를 터키인의 땅을 의미하는 티르키예로 변경할 것을 유엔에 요구했대요. 그리고 유엔은 터키 요청을 공식 승인했다. 오늘 인터뷰 주제는 한 티르키예 수교 65주년입니다.
We finally arrived at the embassy of Turkey.
터키 대사관에 도착했습니다.
뭘?
롤? 끝 한번 칠게요. 그러면은 배를 눌러볼게요. 문이 열립니다. 자동문. 대사님, 엠바스터.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Merhaba.
Merhaba, merhaba.
Benim adım Nuri.
Benim adım Murat.
Thanks.
I am the ambassador of Turkey.
Yes.
And welcome to House of Turkey. Actually, right now you're on the Turkish soil.
Okay, so I'm now visiting Turkey.
Yes, you are now visiting Turkey, and well, you are visiting your second home, second country.
Oh, my second home?
Yes.
Okay.
Although it was my first time visiting the embassy, the ambassador, who told me to call this my second home, reminded me of Korea's culture of 정, or affection.
I think the location is very interesting because it's near Changchung Stadium and it's the symbol of Korean volleyball. And volleyball is kind of important keyword between our two countries, so I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, in this recent years, volleyball is also become very famous in Turkey. Korea is famous for volleyball.
Yes.
We are meeting quite a lot in the international tournaments
Yes,
with
I know.
Korean volleyball team. But they're in the competition. Sometimes they win, sometimes we win. But always they bring out the best in each other.
Yeah, one of the most famous women's volleyball player, Kim Young-kyung, she was in the Turkish team.
Yeah.
So we are very familiar with Turkish volleyball.
And also there's also quite a lot of Korean soccer players.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they played and playing in Turkish teams. And about 6-7 years back, one of the Turkish famous the football technical directors, he was working in Korea soccer team. So we don't have just commercial or military ties. We have lots of sporting ties also.
You're very active in sports cooperation.
Every walk of life, we are active.
I asked the ambassador for a quick introduction to the embassy.
This is the Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. He is the founder of modern Turkey, the great man, hero for all of us. You know what is the good thing about Turkey and Korea? People can change. There was President Moon before, now Yoon.
Yes.
They always become good friends. I mean, our relations with Korea, it doesn't affect from the daily politics. It's a one nice path we grow together.
So we are keeping the good ties.
Yes,
between our-
always, regardless of the
Regardless of the
people
country.
or the politics or even actually what's happening in the world. We continue walking in the same path.
From the ambassador's words, I could tell that Korea and Turkey's partnership is one based on mutual trust.
Oh, and this is your
This is
office.
Mario. We'll have
Wow.
a nice interview soon.
There are a lot of photos.
Yes, there are a lot of photos. Well, actually, in Turkey, I was twice the Deputy Director General of Protocol, and then also I was Ministry of Foreign Affairs representative in Turkey.
From the photos of the office, I could tell the ambassador had worked as a diplomat for a very long time.
You have quite a career.
Yeah, I've
In
been a
diplomatic-
diplomat for 35 years now.
35 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is now time to prepare for the interview.
하나, 둘, 셋. You ready?
Sure.
Shall we start? So you wanted to talk about the 65th anniversary of our diplomatic ties. So how do you think our bilateral relations have evolved so far?
Well, actually, our ties grew up fast. If you look back to 65 years ago, our both countries weren't at the same place as they are now. Technologically, commercially, militarily, and the place in the world is not the same. Side by side, Turkey and Korea grew considerably. Now, not just bilateral ties, our ties in the multilateral field also grew quite fast. And we are like-minded countries. So we do support each other in the various multilateral areas, including United Nations. For a country like Korea, it's easy to support. I guess everybody loves Korea, not as much as we do, but it's easy to support Korea in multilateral fields because it has a very nice place in the world.
So I did some research and found that Korea and Turkey date back to the mid-6th century. And I was surprised that our exchanges began such a long time ago.
Yes, indeed. Well, at that time, there wasn't any Türkiye, but let's say Turkic tribes, or the tribes of Turkic or origin. Tribes move a lot on those days, and we came to the Korean Peninsula, and some Korean tribes, they move up north towards the Central Asia. And we did have good contacts, we share cultural ties. Now when I back to the Korean, look back to the Korean culture, I can see many similarities in our cultures to taking care of our older people and the way we eat, and like, you know, in traditional Turkish homes, we also eat on the floor.
Oh.
I haven't looked deep into that, but there's many similar words in the Korean language, as well as let's say Old Turkic language, that some of the words we're still using now. Don't ask me each and every of them, but some people told me that, but I'm just here for 2 months, so I didn't learn everything, but from the people that I really trust, they told me that there's quite a lot of words that both of us use.
How did you know I was about to ask you that example?
Well,
Similarities between Korean and Turkish language. I have looked them up after the interview. Both languages are agglutinative. They have honorific and plain speech, and the basic structure of the word order are similar. Some words even have similar pronunciation.
actually, our really closeness and ties, it began at 1950s, I must say, the Korean War. When I was a child, I didn't know about Korean War. I didn't even know which part of the world Korea was. I mean, as a small child. But in the heart, not like me, but many Turkish children, they love Korea. And they have this, always have positive feeling towards Korea. For example, when they play a computer or a match or something, they choose Korea as their team.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is how we feel about Korea. And I'm just here for 2 months. And when I go to outside shopping or walking, I met with total stranger. Then somehow something happens. I start talking. I say, "Where are you from?" I said, "Turkey." I said, "Turkey? Turkey, yes." And then I said, "Blood brothers." Imagine a kind of feeling, somebody totally that you don't know, total stranger, calls you a blood brother. That warms your heart. I mean, it's this is kind of feeling that we have for each other.
So you just talked about the Turkey's participation in the Korean War, and I know that it was before we formally established our diplomatic ties.
Yes, indeed.
Why did Turkey decide to participate in the Korean War?
Because it was a just cause. It was a good cause, just cause for an innocent world, innocent people, innocent children.
Turkey is one of 16 countries that sent troops to support South Korea. It sent the fourth largest number of troops following the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada. On October 17th, the Turkish brigade arrived in Busan. Turkish soldiers fought fiercely and bravely in many battles, most notably the Battle of Kunuri. The number of Turkish soldiers who died in action was 721, the third highest figure after the United States and the United Kingdom. Among the fallen soldiers, 462 of them are buried in the UN Memorial Cemetery in Busan, the world's only UN memorial cemetery. Even after the armistice in 1953, the Turkish brigade under UN forces remained in Korea. Former President Ahmet Kenan Evren, who served as the 7th president of Turkey, said he was stationed in Korea from 1958 to 1959. Even now, Turkey considers its participation in the Korean War as a proud part of its history and has a special affinity for Korean issues.
Past week, 11 November, they had this big ceremony in Busan. One of the veterans, it find the grave of his friend. It was a very touching moment. He started praying for him, crying. Tears was coming out from his eyes. He didn't know his grave was there. He was just looking at names. I said, and suddenly his hands start shaking. I wish I could have filmed that, but it was just a moment. And in Turkish traditions, if you shed a blood, if your blood falls in this land, it also becomes your homeland. So they feel like they come to their second homeland. And our martyrs now laying in Busan, we consider them, they're not in a foreign land, they're in their own homeland. I started asking, okay, there's many countries they involved in the Korean War. Why don't they call them blood brothers and just they call them blood brothers for the Turks? And it dates back, right after the Korean War. We didn't go back. We stayed there until 1972. Turkish people established Ankara School, and they, I guess, 600 people graduated from that school. They're wonderful people. We're still keeping good ties with them. We are thankful to them, so keeping close to us, not forgetting their memories.
In 1952, when the Korean War was in full swing, and as the number of war orphans cared for by Turkish soldiers increased one by one, the Ankara Okul, or Ankara School, was established in Suwon, Gyeonggi-do Province. I wanted to meet someone who was at Ankara School and hear their story. So I gave Tok a special mission to look for someone who stayed there.
I finally found someone who lives in Suwon. I'll send you the address and contact info.
선생님 저희 왔는데요. 안녕하세요.
Soo-eop says he stayed at Ankara School for over 10 years. Now he is president of the Ankara Fraternity, a society for the children who grew up there.
여기 기찻길 있잖아요.
네.
수원역.
네.
여기서 이제 폭격마을에 있는데 터키 군인들이 저 농촌진흥청에 주둔했다고. 저기 사람들을 글로 모아서 천막에서 이렇게 저기 하기 시작했지. 터키 군인들이 얼마나 잘했냐면은 이걸 일본에서 수입해다가 우리한테 준 거야. 한국에서는 입지 못한 거지.
이 옷을.
사실.
네.
의정부로 갔어. 저쪽으로. 그러면 이제 우리가 토요일 날, 일요일 날 차를 보내주면은 우리가 가서 막 노래 부르고 뭐 하고 그랬어.
He has kept the photos from his days at Ankara School.
요거 있잖아. 요거. 아직도 다 터키 군인들이 자기 불든 거.
He also remembered the songs he learned from the soldiers at the time.
앙카라, 앙카라, 귀젤 앙카라, 세니 결매 기스테 헬박디까라, 셋넷 열두마에 드셨나라, 옛때시 온나라, 귀젤 앙카라. 군인들이 와서 같이 이제 우리가 불러주고 그랬지. 야, 오늘의 우리를 만들어주니까 고맙지. 뭐라고 말로 할 수 없지. 그렇지 않다면 어떻게 됐을 것 같아. 우리는 그냥 하나의 이름 없는 사람으로 흩어졌을 거 아니야. 와서 공부까지 다 시켜주고 그랬으니까 고맙지.
The number of people who lived through and remember the Korean War is dwindling. While talking to Mr. Oh, I thought that recording the memories of these people was an important task given to us.
When we met before the interview, you said you hoped for more cooperation in substantial areas.
Yes, this Korean War has a great memories, let's say. Some of them bitter, some of them good, but very great memories. But those generation lived through those devastating times, hardships. Now it's not easy to find many of them. And Korea is not the same then. It's grow up considerably. Yes, they call us blood brothers. They greet us with open arms, embrace us. But what I want to do, I want to bring those positive feelings to the daily life of Turkish as well as the Korean people. Let's say it's not just a platonic love, but substantial. They have to touch the daily lives of the Korean people and as well as the Turkish people.
Can you give us some specific examples of those areas, substantial areas?
Sure. Commercially, Korea has considerable investment in Turkey. It also helps Turkish industry to grow by know-how. It brings know-how to Turkey. Of course, it's a good market. Also, Korea is a very good market for us because we're not in a competition each other, but we can share the know-hows, share the raw materials to help both of us. In the coming days, there will be a more Korean investment will be coming to Turkey, and I hope more and more Korean brothers and sisters will visit Turkey as a tourist. You know, we have Turkish Airlines flying 11 flights weekly to Turkey. There's lots of history, tradition, religion in Turkey. You know, Christian religion actually born very near Turkey. The Virgin Mary's mother burial ground in Turkey. I don't know if everybody knows that Santa Claus lived in Turkey, Alanya,
really?
and his small church and his burial ground is in Turkey. He was an old man, but he was founded with the children, and every time he's known for giving gifts to the small children. He actually lived and died in Turkey.
Oh, I didn't know that. Listening to the ambassador, I remembered there were several articles about the situation in Turkey that might be concerning to people. So I decided to ask the ambassador about his thoughts on the issue. I found some articles that could make some people worry about investing in Turkey or visiting Turkey. So how is the situation in Turkey?
Well, I don't know which articles you searched, but you must be searching very deeply because our trade value reached more than $8 billion and it will go more at the end of this year. And there's many joint ventures between Turkish companies and the big, the huge Korean giants. Very recently, they opened Çanakkale Bridge. And whichever the project in Turkey, not just Korean companies, but the foreign companies also get involved, they always been very happy. And they always come back for more projects because we have no issues about getting payment, we have no issues about any legal matters. We are all members of the international community and the international legal system. Political climate is also quite good, stable. We had some issues with Daesh and PKK in the past. And for the last 5-6 years, we never heard anything up to recently. There was an incident in Istanbul. But what is good about it, the perpetrator of that hideous, horrible crime, she got caught in 10 hours. There was no tourist harmed. I could say it's a very safe country because many European older people, elderly people, they're buying their summer homes in Turkey. If you plan to stay in the land for a long time at your platinum years of your life, it means that you're looking for a very safe country to live into. So I'm proud to say that our land is quite safe for our guests and for the Turks.
So lastly, is there one message that you'd like to convey to our viewers through today's interview?
Continue trusting your Turkish blood brothers. There's people waiting for you, open arm, open heart to greet you. Just you go to a shop, tell them you are from Korea and see what happens. We are waiting for our blood brothers and sisters.
So this is
Talking to the ambassador of Turkey today, I was able to feel the long-standing and strong friendship and trust between the two countries. As 2022 was a meaningful year for both sides, I hope it opens a broader and deeper path of cooperation between Korea and Turkey. And I decided to record what I felt through the conversation in writing.
제가 물어보겠습니다.
These are the former ambassadors. One day my picture will be there. And I hope they will remember with me with the good words.
I'm sure.
People are gone, but good feelings and good words always stay.